What up, Jay Dizzle? Well, you know it's about to be on and popping tonight. That's what we got going on. We're going to talk about a couple of hot topics.
It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it to your friends, come on.
Come
So
on.
this is a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still trouble in your home. Got your tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we see that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on.
Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show when people at night. That's right. It is the Sinclair Show coming to you live and direct. And tonight, as the theme song says, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about a few key things popping off in the world that is impacting you, and you. And but first, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions, comments, what your thoughts are. I see some people right now popping in, talking about where I've been. I've been where I've been, where you been. Anyway, let me tell y'all something. First and foremost, people, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions, comments, thoughts, all of that stuff. Yes, because without you, I wouldn't even have to be here. I could be over in the bedroom, sleep, relaxing, because I be tired sometimes. But you know what I do? I fight through it for you, the people. That's right, for you, the people. So we can stay on and do what we do. But listen, man, let me tell y'all something. Tonight's show, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all want to start with, I'm going to let you, the people, decide. Do y'all want to start with information about the government, how it's going to impact you all that good stuff, the shutdown being over, the prices of your stuff going up, some of the little hearings, or do y'all want to start in the trenches with this North Carolina story about a woman who just got convicted of being a side piece, and it cost her 1.75 million? Which y'all want to talk about first? I'm gonna let y'all decide. All right, y'all want to start with a little business first and then go down that path, or y'all want to start in the trenches and work our way back out? Y'all tell me. Jay Dizzle, what saith you to the people? What we gonna do? We gonna start in the trenches, or we gonna start dealing with the business at hand? What you say, Jay Dizzle? I'm just telling y'all. Either which way, we gonna get down to some things tonight. But I just need to know how y'all want to start this evening off. Because I'm built for all of it. Matter of fact, I'd have had a rough day, a rough weekend, rough evening. I'd have had a rough overall experience. I'm gonna show y'all what your boy Jay Dizzle said. Jay Dizzle said, let's start in the trenches. He said he don't care nothing about that political stuff. He wanted, look, I'm rocking with Jay Dizzle tonight. He said deep in the ditch. See, Jay Dizzle said he ain't got time to be worried about if the government back on or not. He want to know what happened with this 1.75 million. Jay Dizzle, all I need is one more person to vote like you. If I get the best 2 out of 3, say we in the trenches, we in the trenches. Anybody else want to start with this $1.75 million case, or somebody want to start with the government? All I need is one more. Like Ray J say, if I had one wish, I ain't even gonna say nothing, because some of y'all heard me sing a couple of weeks ago. Y'all start sending me little DM messages. I had to tell y'all, hold on. I'm just doing the show. I ain't doing that kind of show. All right. Anybody else want to see us? What saith you to people? Jay Dizzle, I think we gonna rock with you, man, because I ain't waiting around on the people. So Let me tell y'all how this thing popped off. Any of y'all that's been watching the news over the last, let's say, 3 to 5 days, there was a case in North Carolina. That's right, the home state, where we do it big at, where you get that fresh air. And apparently, you get hemmed up for being a side dude, side chick, whatever you want to call it. A recent case in North Carolina, jury awarded a woman approximately now. Oh, y'all, they go our home girl. Lacey Greer, what's going on, girl? Glad to see y'all. See, I already know this is going to be a good show. Anytime Lacey come up here, because I don't care what the topic is, Lacey Greer be even keel about it. She don't be pro-female, pro-dude. She listens to the information and she stand on business on whatever she think. That's the kind of people I like coming on the show. So anyway, check this out. Lacey, Jay Dizzle, and all of you out there. Said a woman, the jury awarded her approximately $1.75 million after finding a TikTok influencer liable for interfering with the lady's marriage. What? See, y'all out here TikToking and twerking and causing folks to break up they little happy homes. Ty Matthews, what's going on? This wasn't you. You wasn't this influencer that they just found guilty of being out here and awarded this lady that money, is it? It ain't you, is it? Here are the details. Everybody listen up. The influencer in question is Brene Kennard, a social media personality based in North Carolina. The plaintiff is Akira Monteague, the wife of Kennard's manager, who alleged that Kennard had an affair with her husband during the marriage. Think about it now. James Key, what's going on, man? Glad to see you on the show tonight. Ty, I ain't saying it's you. I just want to know if it was you, you know? A lot of people say they don't do nothing until they do it, and then they did it. So anyway, it said the jury found Kennard liable for 2 claims. Let me tell y'all what the claim is. See, because I need to educate y'all too. Because look here, it's some sketchy ground that people find themselves in sometimes. So I just want to help y'all to stay locked in, all right? I don't want y'all to be under the gun or the influence. They found that the plaintiff, Brene Kennard. Now let me let y'all know this on the background. The side chick wound up marrying the girl's husband, and they still found her guilty. So I just want to let y'all know. The jury found her guilty of liable for 2 claims. 1, alienation of affection, i.e. interference with the marital relationship. They awarded $1.5 million for that. 2, criminal conversation. Hold on, people. We tripping out here in these proverbial streets. JC, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you tonight. And Detective Pamela Black. Detective Pamela Black done changed her little picture. She out there with the purple dress on. Well, I will be. Anyway, I want y'all to listen to these 2 charges. These 2 things that they found her guilty of. First was alienation of affection, i.e. interference with the marital relationship, to which they awarded 1.5 million shillings, if you will. That's a lot of bread for interfering. The second thing was, listen to this, people. And I gotta say, this ought to make a lot of y'all a little nervous out there. The alienation of affection, that's something you gotta really look at. But this one right here, criminal conversation, i.e. having sex with someone else's spouse, awarded $250,000. Hold on, but they call it criminal conversation. See? Yeah, some of y'all real slick about your conversation. Y'all be out here manipulating and monopolizing somebody mentally. And so they gave $250,000 just on the conversation piece. They call it criminal conversation. Total judgment, $1.75 million. Says North Carolina is one of the few states that still allow these types of claims, alienation of affection, and criminal compensation. Now I want y'all to think about that. Y'all out here spitting game and think about it now. This wasn't no man that got hemmed up in the clutch. This was a woman that was out here spitting out game and then got hemmed up. James said they put a dent in them home records. Hey. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, we're gonna go through it because I don't want y'all, all is not lost for you avid side pieces. All is not lost for y'all. Okay, look, Ty talking about some wow. Ty, why you say wow? Ty said wow like she a little nervous. Ty, you ain't got nothing to be nervous about, do you, girl? Don't go to confessing on the show because I don't want them pulling none of the Sinclair show footage and getting you hemmed up. I'm gonna assume for the record that Ty was just saying wow because it was a large amount. How about that? All right. It says here's the breakdown of the legal reasons in the case of Brene being ordered to pay that $1.75 million to Akira Montego. North Carolina, again, is one of the few states that still allow the tort of alienation of affection, i.e. a spouse can sue a third party for willfully interfering with the marital relationship. Let me tell y'all what that means. Look at JC. JC talking about who is paying this money because you can't sue me for what I don't have. Hold on, JC. They can get your little bread. You might not have 1.75, but I tell you what you do got. You got that old income tax check that's going to come in every year. We going to come get some. Matter of fact, JC, you don't hollered a little too loud. You ain't out here guilty of causing somebody to have an alienation of affection, are you? I'm just saying, it seems like it's a lot of women on the show tonight that's out here hollering and screaming because they feeling some kind of way. Look, people, I didn't convict it, the jury did. It says, think about it now, the tort of alienation of affection, i.e. a spouse can sue a third party for willfully interfering with the marital relationship.
Man, get out of here with that foolishness.
Y'all heard that? Say it again.
Man, get out of here with that foolishness.
Yeah. Think about it now. It also claims the claim of criminal conversation, a separate legal claim for engaging in sexual relations with someone else's spouse during the marriage. Woo! What they say. They say they can sue you for what you gonna make. Hey, tell JC one more time, James. They can get that future bread. Sorry, talking about with Jada, it was the phrase entanglement. Now they calling it illegal conversation. Hey, that's what the law in Carolina call it. Matter of fact, hey, I'm not saying nothing, but it seemed like there's a lot of women out here spitting game, and now it's gonna cost y'all about a good 1.75. All right? Look, James talking about where Nikki Carter at. Hey, she probably seen what the topic was and said, I ain't got time for this. But I believe. Now think about this. I want to make a few things clear. The law does not allow you to sue your spouse. Think about that. You can't sue the spouse. All right? Not at all. We ain't gonna have none of that. You can't get the person on the cool side of the pillar. You can sue the person that they was getting with. All right? See what I'm saying, people? There's a little restitution for them inappropriate behaviors. But there is a catch to it. So let me go ahead and let some of you less than favorable people understand what the catch. Y'all know what? Where my homeboy Ray at? That's what I need to know. Sometimes I don't even feel right doing the show no more when I can't find out what old Ray got going on. I know if he's somewhere listening to talking about, but they are ex-spouses. Didn't you say they got divorced and he married the side chick? Hold up, little hamster. That ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't care what you did after the fact. They talking about what you did before you did what you did because you was doing what you was doing. That type of thing. And stop trying to find a loophole. That's why this female right here is got a $1.75 million debt because she was trying to do just like you and find a loophole. Not. JC said, what if they, the couple, set the whole thing up to get a payday? JC, let me tell you something. You see how you think. JC, of everybody on the show tonight, you likely to get caught up in one of these type charges. Because listen to you. Is you and your man hold on. So you mean you asking, what if she told her dude he could go sleep with somebody else that ain't got no money so that he could turn around and they could sue the person? JC, come on now. Come on. I hope you don't go into, you know what? I sincerely hope you don't go into the courtroom and that's your defense for you being out here home wrecking. Uh-oh, y'all. There's my arch nemesis herself. First of all, James said they're going to see right through that. Hey, James, you was asking for my homegirl. There she is, Nikki Carter. We got your kind of show on tonight. Nikki Carter, tonight's show is about side chicks getting sued and losing in court to the tune of $1.75 million. Nikki Carter, I ain't saying this is you, but when the topic came up, it seemed like some people was looking for you. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let me see. What's she talking about? Nikki Carter talking about she in a meeting, give her a few minutes to jump. Hold on. If you're supposed to be working, don't be on the Sinclair show and get fired from your job because you want to know how not to get caught up potentially. All right, listen here. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't want to have nothing. Uh-oh, y'all, there go my mama. Hey, mama. Y'all, look here. Hey, mama, look. I'm just going to let you know, mama. Now, they ain't say the age of this lady up here. So I'm just letting you know that anybody can get caught up. So any of y'all out here slick talking with these dudes. And you know what? I think it's one of them things where I'm almost glad that the person that got sued wasn't a dude. Because, you know, dudes always be getting this bad rap about we do this and we do that. And come to find out, every time it's a charge going on around here, it's a woman getting hemmed up. You know that? That's what I'm thinking about that right now. Jane said she might have that 1.75 mil. Nikki Carter ain't got $1.75 right now. We ain't messing with her. Nikki Carter talking about you seem to know a little bit about side chicks. First of all, watch your mouth. What I do know is when the news brought on that 1.75 million was being paid out and somebody been convicted, Nikki Carter, we know it wasn't no dude. It was another female. Matter of fact, I think there was about 2 other cases in North Carolina. Another female had to pay out about $8 million. Y'all can keep playing around. And what y'all need to do is start changing the narrative around here. Hi, Matthews. Hey, lady, how you? First of all, y'all can call each other. Y'all ain't gonna be using up my influence mark out here in these public streets to be communicating. But let's get back to the thing at hand. All right. So the general legal elements for alienation of affection. Let me tell y'all this. Now, I ain't trying to help JC and Kaya and Nikki Carter escape from getting hemmed up in court. You don't want to wind up in court. Don't be out here taking nobody man. How about that? Hold on. Ty said because a dude ain't saying nothing. What we got to say? We ain't in court. Nikki Carter said, y'all need to charge these men for participating. Oh, no. What is you talking about? They said, we won't see them pitchforks tonight. Better not see them. JC said, moral of the story, alienate with someone with paper. You stupid, JC. JC said, if you going to cheat and take somebody man that got at least 1.75 million, that way he can pay the tab. You must be out your mind. But first of all, let me help y'all out, all right? Because I don't want y'all to be in the back row forever. Nikki Carter said, can't take anyone that don't want to be taken. You know what? Johnny, I don't know where Johnny at. I don't know where Ray at. I don't know what. Only guy speaking up tonight is James, and I'm glad of that. But Ray, wherever you at, you need to come online, because this is what I'm not understanding, people. Whenever it is something that dudes is the primary person at fault, oh my goodness, we just hear all that hate. And I'm sitting up here reading these comments that these wonderful women are saying up on this show. And it's like, oh, well, you can't take someone that don't want to be taken. If you don't shut up and get out of my face with that foolishness, where's all the vitriol that you normally spew when it's a dude getting in trouble? Anyway, Jay Dizzle said, I'm here to speak up about what? Jay said, I ain't got to speak up about nothing. He said, hit dogs will holler. He ain't got to even tell y'all. Y'all out here on this foolishness, and me, apparently tonight, we are above the fray. Let me see. James said, shoe on the other foot and they deflecting. Say it again, James. That's exactly what they doing. But anyway, let me go and educate y'all women so some of y'all won't get caught up. Y'all. Ray checking in. Big dog Ray, what's up, man? Hey, Ray, hot topic tonight. Man, down here in the Carolinas, they hemming up women for being side chicks and breaking up homes and all that other stuff. And ain't no dude in trouble tonight, Ray. That's what I like to hear. Because y'all know what? And this real talk right here. I just want to go ahead and say this for the record. I am often accused of being pro-male on my show or whatever. But sometimes you can look at the evidence and you can see that when it's something dealing with a man that is nefarious, all these women on the show be talking crazy. That's right, this, and that. I am appalled that I hear some women talking about, well, you couldn't take the man if he didn't want to be taken. Man, anyway, listen to this. It says the general legal elements for alienation of affection derived from common law are a genuine marriage existed with love and affection between the spouses. Remember these things, and I'm telling y'all, because I'm about to turn y'all on to, well, I don't want to help y'all get out of it, because I want Nikki Carter to have to pay her money. They said, all the fellow vets, thank you for your service. There you go. So first, it says, listen to the specifics of the term. Hold on. Hey, Jay Dizzle. JC said, Johnny Key, we can set up a dude too. Everybody can get it. Look, let me tell you something. JC, you out here talking about setting up people. You likely to set up a broke dude. You ain't gonna get no money. You ain't gonna do nothing but make the headlines. When is the last time somebody with $1.75 million tried to holler at you? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Them cats that be hollering at you is at Walmart. They got Walmart bread. They ain't got no millions. Anyway, listen, I want y'all to focus on what I say, because this gonna help some of y'all stay out of the courtroom. First, you have to prove that a genuine marriage existed with love and affection between the spouses. Meaning, you got to be able to show that before the side dude or the side chick stepped in, that there was an actual meaningful relationship with love and affection prior to. All right? I ain't talking about the only reason the guy didn't get sued is because, like you said, she couldn't sue him. Ty, shut up. The only reason why the guy didn't get sued because the guy wasn't the side dude. The guy was the one ripped away from his home by the side chick. What is you talking about? Okay, understand. Y'all kill me with that. Yeah, JC, that right there. The spouse need to pay too. Don't y'all shut up. Listen, the second thing, that affection was alienated, lost, or destroyed in part by the defendant's wrongful acts. First thing you got to show that before the side chick or side dude stepped in place, that you had an active, loving relationship with affection. The second thing you have to do is show that the affection was lost or destroyed because the side chick or side dude came into play. And third, the defendant's malicious or intentional conduct contributed to the loss of the affection. Meaning, she talked your man so good that he stopped even dealing with her, that he was dealing with her before you came on the scene. All right? I'm just saying. Hold on. Jay Dizzle said, don't make me the culprit. We talking about Jeannie Buss. you better believe it. Let me see what else we talk about over here. I say, wow, seriously, that's the weakest response ever. It is the weakest response ever. It should be. We don't have to, men do not have to defend themselves on this show tonight, because we ain't been caught up not nay time in the courts of North Carolina. When I'm going back looking at the cases, it's women that's out here talking these men out of their mind. It's women out here breaking up them homes, allegedly. I'm just saying, all dudes are doing is they're being the weakest of the mental. And you got to understand something. Not every marriage qualifies. Listen to what I told you. You got to prove three things in order to get that 1.75 million. A genuine marriage existed with love and affection between the spouses. Love and affection prior to old Slick Jane coming in and talking. Second, that the affection was alienated, lost, or destroyed in part by the defendant's wrongful acts. Meaning that once she came in and started talking them sweet nothings in Ray's ear, that Ray just lost his mind and stopped being loving and stopped having affection with his old lady. You got to prove that. All right. Third, the defendant malicious or intentional conduct contributed to the loss of the affection. Think about what we're saying here, right? They say you can't sue yourself, married. Say it again. Nikki Carter, absolutely men do. Women can't cheat by themselves. Girl, shut up. All that the court systems are saying, and look who's suing. It's women suing. Women is walking up into the courthouse suing because they lost their man to some lady that smelling so good, looking so good that her man couldn't keep his mind together. He was tricked out. She used tricknology on him. Listen, I don't care about y'all getting mad at me. I'm just telling you, matter of fact, if some of you women would stop talking so sensitive and sweet to these dudes, maybe they wouldn't be in this situation. I'm just trying to tell you. But I can't get y'all to understand nothing. All right? Hold on. Did she say statistically men out here with those side chicks? You know what, Nikki Carter? You don't need to be out here telling on yourself about what you out here doing. We trying to protect you. Do not come out. Listen, this is my James Key need to be sued. James, I think you need to sue Nikki Carter. She's making a false allegation against you. Check this out. I'm going to say this as a matter of a responsible journalist on my show tonight. That first and foremost, do not come on my show and be confessing to none of y'all crimes, because I do not want them to take my footage and use it against one of you in court. All right? I'm just putting it out there on Front Street. Shut up if you're guilty. That's how this girl got caught up. All right? Now think about this. So, here's the facts align with the law. Monteith's complaint asserted that she and her husband had married in 2018, maintained a loving relationship, and that Kennard's engaged in a sexual affair while the marriage was ongoing, thereby contributing to the breakdown. It was alleged that Kennard flaunted her relationship on social media when Monteith's husband posted pictures, videos, and thereby humiliated her and undermined the marriage. And the jury found Kennard liable for both claims, $1.5 million and $250,000. Why was the award justified? All right. Let me see. James said, I keep my lawyer on retainer, Nikki Carter. Nigga Carter said, I'm talking about, don't try to invalidate my views by aligning me with that foolishness. I'm not aligning you with anything. You sitting around here getting yourself deeper and deeper. Why the jury award was justified? Because the tort of alienation of affection is about emotional and the relational harm, not just economic harm. The jury was allowed to award significant damages for the loss of affection, marital companionship, emotional distress. In defending such torts, the defendant may argue the marriage was already failing, consent was given. Kennard argued the marriage was over, but the jury evidently rejected that as a full defense. The fact patterns included public social media conduct, large follower influence, and demonstrated conduct. First of all, let me go ahead and drop this knowledge on y'all. All right? I want to educate you all, not for the purposes of y'all beating the system. They ain't saying, I'm like Bennett, I ain't in it. Here's the thing. First, when you look at it saying the first step you must prove is that prior to the side person, be it a woman or a man, getting involved in that relationship, that the relationship all the way up until when the other person came on the set was filled with love and affection. Ladies, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all why most of y'all couldn't win a case if you tried. Because most of you, a man can probably prove there was no love and affection in the relationship. When I read this case, what they used was text messages. Okay? Ty said that side piece should have been sued and she deserves everything. She get putting all her business on Front Street and throwing it in the other girl's face. Hey, I don't doubt that. I agree with you on that, right? Nikki Carter said, did you sidestep a few lawsuits? I ain't sidestepped nothing. This one just went down. Watch him out. All right? I said, well, if he didn't want the whole pie, he shouldn't have married it. Listen, we're not trying to make dude the villain. We talking about the side chick. But listen, the only reason why she won this case was not because she broke up the home, not because she was sleeping with the dude. She lost the case because the dude was still being intimate with his wife at the time when the correspondences between him and the other chick began. So I went all through this. I went through all of the records from the case. So when you are talking about the marriage had the two phrases is love and affection. At the time when he began having conversations or dialogue with the other person. So he never stopped sleeping with one and started with the other. If there had been time prior to where they had no longer been being intimate with each other, she would not have lost this case. He should be sued too. Shut up, Nikki. You can't sue him. That's what we keep trying to say. Maybe you should have been on the show at the beginning. JC says, Sue Hollowell, they want the pie and the cake. Hence, that's why he in this mess. Man, leave Ray alone. Ray ain't even done nothing. Anyway, so think about this. Ladies, half of you on this show tonight couldn't win a case if you came to your house and seen your man with somebody else right now. You couldn't win a case because the first criteria is that you must be able to prove that there was love and affection prior to him dealing with this person. You can't show it if you ain't doing nothing but spitting venom, if you around there talking crazy, if you have not been intimate with your significant other in months, weeks, years, or whatever, you can't win the claim. She only lost this claim because they proved that through communications from his wife's phone, from his phone, that the two of them were still acting as a married couple, being intimate with each other, therefore showing love and affection. All right? You're talking about sue him for fraud, Nikki Carter. You see what I'm talking about? JC said, I can win the fight, though. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Look, I don't know when the last time you been in no fight. Most of y'all be talking about y'all could still put y'all hands on somebody. I'm be honest with you. Most of y'all ain't really had that fight since you was in high school. So I would hate for you to lose in court and get beat up. So I'm just saying. Some of y'all be walking around y'all house looking like a raccoon because you thought you could try that person and you really ain't good with them hands no more. All right? Nikki Carter said men are greedy. How is men greedy? You know what? That's why y'all make me sick. Y'all make me absolutely sick. Because if the shoe was on the other foot and it was a man who lost this case, y'all would be sitting around right now and y'all would be going through the hoops. You know what? It's men out here that could sue women for being in the same situation. Letting the dude come in, he talk you out your clothes, next thing you know. But this whole thing is not, the whole thing of proof comes from the lady being able to show that the dude was still being intimate with her. Therefore, the relationship was not by law over. If you're not sleeping with somebody and you can't say that there was love and affection. You can say, I still loved him or her, but if you ain't sleeping with them, then you can't show the affection. That's the reason the jurors said that they were convinced that, and remember, the side chick does not have to know all of the information. The side person, dude or female, can be going off of what you said. It doesn't matter if they go off what you said. You can be a liar. The dude could have been a liar. A woman could be a liar. What they're saying is, unless you can show that you had not been intimate with a person, love and affection, not I still love them, or her, but I ain't slept with them in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 72 months, whatever the time frame is. If you're not being intimate with your spouse, you can't, by law, they can say that there was no affection. There may have been love, but there was no affection. So if y'all around here thinking that you can just win a case, you can't win if you ain't doing your job. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what that means. Hold on. JC said, if you sick, take some NyQuil. Whatever. Because if he's pretending to still love me and in the streets, he's a fraud. Could be. But you can't win nothing for that. Anyway, because he's cheating. Shut up. I said, spitting that text game got him hemmed up. No, spitting that text game got her hemmed up. Ain't nothing happened to him. He married her. So apparently, that's another story right there. But the bottom line is, and I'm saying this because I don't want y'all to think that the courts rewarded the woman and that's what they randomly do. No, the jury decided that through communications from the wife's phone and the back then husband's phone, that they were still being intimate with each other at the same time when he met the social media influencer. That's the key. The key is not whether or not he slept with her. The key is they were still being intimate, and by the jury's eyes, the woman and the man were considered to be in a marriage with love and affection. If you'd have took the proof of affection out, she would not have lost the case. Nikki said it takes both of us to make it work. Yeah, Nikki Carter. But see, one thing that y'all got this habit of doing, I'm not saying, matter of fact, let me rewind that. I'm not even going to say y'all, because it can be on both sides. Let me see what Jane said. Jane said, so in other words, the husband gained a loss. That right there. Okay? But I want y'all to understand the context, because some of y'all are saying XYZ. If the husband and the wife had not been intimate with each other for a period of 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever period of time, the jury could not have awarded, because it says you must be able to prove that because of the new person coming in, you stop being intimate with the other person. Okay? There must be a cause and an effect. So, because she could show through communications from her phone to her husband's phone that even during the time when he first started talking to the social media influencer, that at that point they were still being intimate with each other, the jury awarded the $1.5 million. Now, I want y'all to hold on. Gwendolyn Lady Elegance said, good evening from my ride on Amtrak to Rocky Mountain. What? Lady Elegance, you done came to the North Carolina and you ain't let us know? Man, we would have met you in Rocky Mountain. We could have did the show from Rocky Mountain. You could have been on the show. Man, I'm feeling some kind of way. Ty says, sexting with his wife got his side chick hemmed up. Hey, Ty, that's a good point. Sexting with his old lady, got him hemmed up, got his side chick hemmed up. Right. And again, and so I want to make this clear. I do believe that the dude was greedy. I do believe that the dude was wrong. I believe he was 100% wrong. Okay? Because he did still have an active relationship. Now, some of y'all will be like, oh, I can't believe you saying. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I've been a counselor for nearly 20 years. And I can tell you that there are people who stay together for a host of reasons that have nothing to do with love and affection. Some people stay together for the kids. Some people stay together because it's their spiritual or religious convictions. Some people will go through, as they say, proverbial hell and high water. And I don't want y'all, this is not about whether or not you think it's right or I think it's right. All right? I want to be clear on that for this set of reasons. Different people got different ways that they think. Like, I do not believe if you are in a physically abusive relationship that you should stay in that relationship, and I don't care what nobody tells you. Because I don't believe that the law or God requires you to stay in an abusive relationship. Let me say that. Some people won't leave because it's convenient for them. And a lot of y'all say, oh, well, you ought to do this, this, and that. I ain't talking about that. And that's the reason why the law was specific in saying, in order to prove these types of cases, Nikki Carter says, it's about time you hold a man accountable. I do all the time. If he do, he's a chump. Absolutely. Esther Shepherd, what's going on? Glad to see you. And so I want y'all to understand what I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning the dude cheating on his wife and they were in what appeared to be a healthy relationship. But ladies, you don't get the cover of saying when somebody take your man that it was a healthy relationship, and you have, according to the law, according to the reason why they found this woman guilty and awarded the ex-wife now $1.75 million, was because she could prove that he was still being intimate with her at the same time he got this new chick. It's a whole bunch of people that have tried to sue, but you can't sue according to the state of North Carolina if you've been walking around and you haven't performed your wifely duties, or if you ain't performed your husbandly duties and you don't have a legitimate reason, a medical reason or something. Now, he could, if he had not had any type, and again, I'm not judging on that. Because I've already told y'all, there are people that stay in unhealthy relationships where there is no love and there is no affection, and they do it for different reasons. I'm not judging on that. Sometimes people will stop sleeping with you because they know you're sleeping with everybody else. I'm not judging on that. I'm saying I don't want y'all to get confused and think that this particular case is what's in the norm, because what's in the norm is most people that attempt to file a case wind up not winning the case, because when they go, the historical data shows that they weren't in a healthy relationship where there was love and affection. Those are the first requirements. Now you say she is too. Nigga caught talking about James Keith. Nah, she sent him the bill, whatever. JC said nowadays you can prove anything with AI. Well, you know what, JC? I don't think this would. There is nothing that came up in court that this was an AI thing. And AI ain't everything, because I can tell you all, whenever something is built, you can tell where it was built at. Your computer, your cell phone has what is called a MAC address on it. And so it will embed language in the video, even when you print something on a piece of paper. Some of y'all don't even realize this, so let me go ahead and give y'all some game. When you print something on a piece of paper, though you can't see it, the printer embeds key information that tells where that printer came from, what IP address it was on, and the MAC address of that. So you can't fake some things. All right? I said she was able to prove it because of the sexting between them. If his words for that tidbit would have just been said. Right. Taya is absolutely correct on that. Let me see. Nikki Carter said husband was being gamey and lost big. Nikki Carter, please. So I don't, like I said, I want to deal with facts tonight. I'm not dealing with all y'all in your little being embedded in your feelings, but I want you to comprehend that these things are impactful, but most of you would not qualify, because many of you are in your homes and you walking around and you telling your man that that's all right, because I ain't going to do this and I ain't going to do that. And you go for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months. You're not going to win in a courthouse in North Carolina, because they're going to say you alienated the affection prior to him or her having somebody else. So yes, they don't defend the indefensible. This dude was 100% wrong, and the courts made him pay. And I am in agreement with the person having to pay. And the reason why it should be the side chick or the side dude that has to pay is because it is your responsibility to validate what somebody tells you. What do I mean by that? If you tell me that, not me personally, but if you tell somebody that you're in a certain type of relationship, y'all ain't had nothing to deal with each other in terms of physical intimacy, and the person won't give you a divorce, and y'all been like that for years, hey, I'm supposed to have to do my due diligence. You supposed to have to do yours. The reason why you can't sue your significant other, because the courts don't care nothing about that. Nobody stopped y'all. You got a right to not deal with anybody, your significant other, the person on the other side of the pillar, person that you're married to, you got a right to not do that. You just lose your ability to file a complaint and attempt to get restitution if you're not. The courts are not rewarding people who decide that they're going to be mean and spiteful and I ain't going to do this and I ain't going to do that. You got a right to do it. But if your significant other goes out there and gets into a relationship with somebody else, I ain't talking about what you got to deal with God with. I'm talking about what you got to deal with the courts. The lady with the little blind justice and the scale. What that person says is, if you weren't conducting yourself as a married person, the specific words was love and affection. In the absence of that, she does not reward your bad behavior. That's what it said. I said, well, they ain't married now, so her bill, his bill. Girl, please. You can say that all you want to. Ain't no her bill, his bill. That man is not going to be worried about it. He probably ain't even going to stay with her. I'm just saying. Limitations of the defense. One common defense is consent. If the spouse consented to the defendant's conduct, the tort may not apply. However, consent must be shown clearly. Let me tell you something. And this is for some of y'all that's got them unorthodox relationships. Y'all be going to those Diddy parties. Y'all be going to them swinging parties. Watch what you say in text messages or on recordings. I read a case where I believe it was the man had requested some nefarious act, and his wife said, hey, it's your birthday, I'm okay with it. Pulled to Cassie. Y'all remember when Diddy was on trial, he said Cassie used to call up people and whatever, right? If he or she can show that there was consent on the part of the spouse, you cannot and will not be awarded $1. Another defense is that the marriage may have already been irretrievably broken before the alleged interference if the plaintiff cannot show that the affection existed and was destroyed by the defendant's act. The claim will fail. Listen to what I just said. Listen to what I just read. All right? It says, the other defense is that the marriage was already irretrievably broken before the alleged interference if the plaintiff cannot show that the affection existed. Understand that, ladies? And that's something that gets y'all more so than them dudes. You cannot file a claim if you can't show that you and that individual, your husband, your wife, your spouse, if you can't show that you were being intimate with this person prior to them dealing with this person that you are trying to sue, you can't even file the claim. So let me say this to all of you all, whether it's Nikki Carter, JC, Taya, any of y'all, all them threatening text messages that you be sending your dudes talking about you hate them, you can't stand them, that's why you ain't got nothing to do with them, that's why you want them out your life, that's why all of this, all that hate mail that you be giving, that is proof to the court that the relationship was over, and that unless you can show that there was some intimate presence, the court says you told them it was over, you showed them it was over, you've been acting ratchet for months and weeks and years, you've been out there in them streets, you verbally told and showed that man that I don't want to have nothing to do with you, so we ain't going to reward you, because he had every reason, or she had every reason to believe you when you said, I can't stand you. JC said, James Key, I know someone who didn't get a tax return because of what their wife owed. So yes, her bill is his bill. Wow. JC, is you up here talking about you losing tax benefits? I think some of y'all need to slow down out here in these streets if that's what y'all saying. I ain't trying to get in y'all business, but I will say, look, James said, no, ma'am, that suit was about when they were married. What is Ty talking about? Yep, that's why injured spouse forms. All right, listen, all I'm saying is this. I ain't even judging. I don't even care at this point. I'm just happy that the people that got caught up wasn't dudes. Because there's so often that's what it is. And me and Ray can have conversations about absolutely nothing because tonight's show didn't participate with a dude getting hemmed up in something. But see, sometimes, and let me say this. I want to say this before I do got a few minutes to cover something that's important about the other stuff. But let me say this to y'all. Sometimes I just be sitting back having conversations, me and old Ray. And, you know, the one thing that I have come to realize is there is a separation of understanding. Sometimes men get treated as if they have no emotion or they should be mind readers or whatever. And I often, and Ray doesn't always agree with me, but I often brainstorm because, you know, Ray is a few years more seasoned than me. So I go to him sometime just to get a little clarity, if you will. Ty said, oh, really? So what you're trying to say is that you are so happy that it's not a guy because guys get hemmed up so much? I'll tell you what I'm actually saying is I'm glad that society is proving that guys aren't the only ones that y'all can drag through the mud. I'm not defending this dude because I believe that he was wrong. I believe that I am not condoning somebody trying to have as much as they can have on their plate, whether it's him or she. There's not often that I can say that I see society holding women accountable at the same rate that they do men. That's just the truth. But, and sometimes it's refreshing to just, not that I would wish any ill will on anybody, but sometimes it is refreshing to be in a situation where we aren't the ones being vilified in the public. Because while there are clearly enough of us who are absent-minded, there are enough of us that make mistakes, there are enough of us that do things that when we think about it in hindsight, we probably could have done things a little bit different. The fact of the matter is it is very difficult for some men, not all, to find a space of peace because we're expected to be mind readers. We're expected to act off emotions. Most people see men, and if they show any level of sensitivity to issues, then they're being soft. But if you always want your man to be tough and to be hard about something, then that's the reason why you get what you get from them. Because when is the space that they act or can feel free to be soft without being somebody coming down on them? But anyway, I digress. Let me tell y'all what I did want to talk about. I ain't got but 2 minutes, so I'm going to go on and get this out. Federal government is in the process of opening back up. For those of you all who are federal employees who have not been getting paid and been asked to work or been furloughed, our hearts have gone out to you the whole time, and we are 100% certain that you all will feel better once you guys can get some income coming back in. But let me tell y'all the price of that. The Republican Party was determined that they were not going to switch gears with the ACA health insurance subsidies and all of that. If you have been paying attention, and between October and in the month of October and the early part of November, most of your companies tell you it's time to change your insurance over, whatever changes you're going to make. And many of you have already found that your premium, even to do your own, have jumped up 3 times the amount. There used to be a time when a single person paying for insurance for themselves would pay about $50 to $55. Now that same individual will pay anywhere between $168 and $200 just for themselves. There are different categories. Some of y'all out here talking about, oh, I want a raise. Let me tell y'all this. You better look and see how the raise will impact where you at. If you earn $60,000 a year right now, you may still be paying somewhere around $55 to $70 a month for your insurance. If you get to $80,000 or above, it's going to go from $70 to almost $200. So really what you think you getting, you ain't really getting. So when y'all out there begging and talking about if they don't give me a raise, sometimes a raise ain't a raise. But what they are doing with not adjusting these ACA health subsidies is you are seeing insurance costs, medical costs, hospital costs, all of these things are skyrocketing. You already have been able to tell because of tariffs and everything else. When you go to the stores, everything is at an all-time high. Listen, I'm not saying that there may not be some logic somewhere in somebody's mind that tariffs could work, but they'll never work when you don't have an unforeseen advantage. If you're the only show in town, yeah, they might work. But the tariffs don't work if somebody else can get what they get from you from someplace else. I'm just saying, people, look, we're going to talk about that next week when I get some more information. But I want y'all to focus and remember that what you asked for, the one leverage that was held was that Democrats and independents were withholding, and some Republicans, because they wanted to address the fact that these ACA subsidies were problematic. By losing the leverage, you are now seeing the fruits of those labors. And that's sad. Most people can't afford it. And I'm out.
It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it with your friends, come on.
Come
But
on.
it's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's so you still trouble.